welcome back to my tutorial channel Basic Biology. So in our last video I told about the basic concept of cell cycle. Now today I am talking about the mechanism of cell cycle. That means how cell cycle is regulated by series of proteins and the factors. So let's start. Now cell cycle is controlled by two key proteins. One is cyclin and another is CDK, that is cyclin dependent kinase, and these two proteins together form a heterodimeric protein kinase. Generally they are present in a very low amount within the cell. The amount of CDK is almost constant. It does not fluctuate while cell is passing through the cell cycle. But the cyclin varies while the cell is moving from one phase to next phase. So that's why the name given due to its abundance varies phase to phase. Now within the cell cycle, these two proteins, cyclin and CDK, together form a complex, and that complex activating a series of proteins, hundred of proteins, and phosphorylate them, dephosphorylate them, and leading to the activation of different steps of the cell cycle. Now that's why this heterodimeric protein kinase is also known as cell cycle engine. But apart from the cell cycle regulation, the cyclin CDK complex together activating many other gene also. Say for example some transcription factors, the cellular metabolisms. There are so many mechanisms which the cell cycle proteins are associated. Now within the cell there are different type of cyclin molecules. Though the amount of CDK and the nature of CDK remains same, but the cyclin varies with the phases. Say for example, this is a cell cycle. Now this is M phase, this is G1, this is S, and G2. Four phases are present within the cell cycle. Now in G1 there is a specific cyclin which is known as G1 cyclin. There are several types of G1 cyclin. Say for example cyclin C, D, E, F. These different type of cyclin found in different vertebrates. Now when the cell passing to S phase, there is another cyclin which is known as S phase cyclin. Now this S phase cyclin is known as cyclin A, and another cyclin is present which is known as mitotic cyclin, but that mitotic cyclin begins its function from the G2. So there is a M cyclin and it is known as cyclin B. So within the cell cycle there are three types of cyclin present: M cyclin, G1 cyclin, and S phase cyclin. And each cyclin has its own function, and these functions are very region specific and cell cycle phase specific, you can say. So first of all we have to say about the G1 cyclin. Now what is the function of G1 cyclin? G1 cyclin is responsible for regulating or activating those proteins which are responsible for the DNA replications. That means all the enzymes which are essential during the DNA replication process, those enzymes are activated or phosphorylated by these G1 cyclin. So the replication enzymes are activated or phosphorylated by the G1 cyclin. Now the S phase cyclin, this cyclin also functions specifically. First of all, S phase cyclin regulates all the inhibitors. Those are bound with the cyclin CDK complex. So once the G1 cyclin availability is maximal, so that G1 cyclin CDK together inactivate the inhibitors which actually suppress the activity of the S phase cyclin. And when the S phase cyclin is activated, it activates some pre-initiation proteins which are responsible to start or begin the replication process within the space. So it activates the pre-initiation proteins. Say for example WRC, origin recognition complex, a series of protein involved here. So those proteins are activated by these S phase cyclin. Now when the cell passing from the S phase to the G2, here the activity of mitotic cyclin begins. Now M cyclin is responsible for activating all those proteins which are associated with the cell division machineries. Say for example some proteins which are associated with the removal or retraction of the nuclear membrane. So nuclear pore and envelope proteins activated by this M cyclin. Pore and nuclear envelope proteins. This is activated by the M cyclin first. Second, the proteins which are associated with the kinetochore formation, kinetochore assembly, because these kinetochores are very essential during the cell division process. So kinetochore assembly protein. Another protein which is responsible for the chromosomal condensation. So all the proteins that activate the chromosome condensation, that is also activated by the M cyclin. That is the chromosomal condensation protein. So these all proteins are activated by M cyclin. Now these cyclin molecules are very specific according to their activities, but the CDK is almost constant. Within the eukaryotes, there are numerous types of CDKs. They are named as CDK1, CDK2, 3, CDK4, CDK6. These all are present in many vertebrates. That means CDK1, 2, 3, 4, 6. These all are found in mammals. Now this kinase activity, that means cyclin dependent kinase, this kinase activity is regulated by the cyclin protein. So individually cyclin or CDK, they are unable to activate the cell cycle process. Similarly, the mere association of the cyclin and CDK is not enough to activate the heterodimeric kinase or to activate the substrate specific kinase activity of the CDK. So only cyclin and CDK combined is not sufficient to activate the cell cycle process. So there are so many conditions that regulate the cell cycle process. So let's see. Now during the cell cycle process, only the CDK and cyclin binding is not sufficient. There are two events. First, the phosphorylation of CDK, and the second event is association of regulators with CDK, that is cyclin or CDK inhibitors. So these two things are very important to activate the cyclin and CDK complex. That means the phosphorylation of CDK is very essential first of all, and after the phosphorylation phosphorylation of CDK is over, then the CDK binds with the cyclin molecule and that cyclin modulates the substrate specific kinase activity of the CDK. Now within the CDK, both CDK and cyclin, they all form by amino acid residues. There are so many amino acids present in the cyclin and CDK, in which there are two or three specific amino acids are there. Say for example, within the CDK, there are two specific type of amino acids present. One is tyrosine and it is called threonine. Now these tyrosine and threonine, these two amino acid residues are phosphorylated, and the phosphorylation events regulates the activity of the CDK and cyclin. If we see this diagram, say this is cyclin molecule. and this one is the CDK molecule. And within the CDK, there are two regions. One is Y15. The example is given from mammals. So Y15 means, here Y means tyrosine 15. And another one is called T161. That is the threonine 161. This is CDK. Now, the cyclin and CDK together form a CDK cyclin complex. But still, this complex is inactive. So, just I have said, the mere association of cyclin and CDK is not enough to activate these heterodimeric complex. Now, the another protein which is known as WEE1, it's a kinase enzyme found in eukaryotes. This WEE1 gene, when activated, it phosphorylates kinase. The main role of kinase is phosphorylation. So that WEE1 protein phosphorylate the tyrosine 15. So what happened? Now it is phosphorylated. It is still in dephosphorylation state. But the fact is, it is still inactive state. That means when the tyrosine residue is phosphorylated and it complexes with the cyclin, it's still inactive. Now, another protein which is known as CAC. It is known as CDK activating kinase. CDK activating kinase. This kinase protein also phosphorylates at the threonine 161 position. So in the both the region, phosphorylation takes place. But due to the phosphorylation of the CDK, it is still in an inactive form. So cyclin and CDK binding and their phosphorylation does not indicate that it is an active product. Now the another protein which is known as CDC25, it's a phosphatase which is responsible for dephosphorylation, making this CDK cyclin complex a kinase protein to phosphorylate the other proteins. So what will happen? Now this is cyclin, here is CDK present. Now dephosphorylation event occur, dephosphorylation within the tyrosine 15. That means Y15 is dephosphorylated, but tyrosine 161 still in a phosphorylated state. Now this condition, it's an active condition because it will activate the substrate specific activity of the kinase. That is the substrate specific kinase activity. Here the substrate binds and leading to the phosphorylation of that substrate complex, and which activates the cell cycle process. So CDK, so dephosphorylation as well as the phosphorylation, both are essential to activate these CDK and cyclin complex. Cyclin acts as a modulator that modulates the CDK activity. So it is the second part. The first part is the phosphorylation of the CDK molecule to activate the cyclin CDK complex. So in this way, the CDK cyclin complex activated and it activates hundreds of protein through phosphorylation. Now see the diagram very carefully. You can note it down also. The activation of the CDK cyclin is a very conditional process. Only the association of CDK and cyclin is not sufficient, again I say, not sufficient to make the protein kinase. So there are 4 conditions I described over here. The first thing, when the CDK and cyclin together form a complex, but the phosphorylation of the threonine is not done over here, so it's an inactive product. So to make it active, what is the essential criteria? Phosphorylation of the tyrosine region, that is, sorry, phosphorylation of the threonine region has to occur. That happened over here. So that is the active product. In the second condition, when only the CDK present, no cyclin is available, so it's inactive, because CDK is again unable to activate any phosphorylation mechanism or having no kinase activity. So when the cyclin is attached with the CDK, that leads to an active product, because cyclin will activate the substrate specific kinase activity of the CDK. So when cyclin is added in the system, so it becomes an active product. Another one, when all cyclin CDKs are attached with each other, the phosphorylation also occur. Again it is an inactive product when some inhibitors, which are also called regulators, some inhibitors when bound with these cyclin CDK complex, so it become inactive. That inhibitor is known as CKI. That is the CDK inhibitory subunit. So CKI are the inhibitors, when it bound with the cyclin CDK complex, so it make the entire complex inactive. So you have to remove these CKI to activate this product. Another one is the cyclin CDK complex, but the phosphorylation is present in both the tyrosine as well as the threonine residue. So it's the inactive product. So cyclin CDK activation depends on the phosphorylation of the threonine 161 position and dephosphorylation of the tyrosine 15 position, and the cyclin has to be bound with the CDK molecule to activate the substrate specific kinase activity of the CDK. So in our later video I will discuss the concept of MPF that actually formed by the cyclin and CDK together, which is known as the mitosis promoting factor, as well as about the SPF, that is the start promoting factor, that is also formed by the cyclin and CDK, but here in case of MPF it is formed by the mitotic cyclin, whereas SPF is formed by the G1 cyclin. So in our next video I will discuss how this MPF and SPF together regulate the cell cycle process. Thank you.